is true. I
have cream in mine, and I could put some of my cream...
But you don't have very much, though.
Yeah, but you don't have any. You wanted cream.
No. I could
go ahead and put some of that in there.
We're running out of time for my next guest.
I'm sorry. Be sure and introduce him where he played.
Well, what for? It's not open anymore.
Well, I know, but it's...
Well, he did play your club, and your club is not open anymore.
That's right.
And your house... He didn't play there.
He didn't play my club.
He didn't play your club, and your house is gone, so I wouldn't talk if I were you. I actually met my next guest in the hall outside my office. It was about 4 days ago. He was standing outside my door in the hall on the 3rd floor in a tuxedo in the middle of the afternoon with full makeup on, and a delegation with him from his fan club, which... That is so embarrassing. I thought they were mine.
I know. We could have brought some people, too.
And he had just come for an audition. Luckily, he passed it. And he's a new and a very unusual entertainer and with a wonderful name. He ain't fooling around. Here he is, the one and only Broadway Bob.
Show business, folks. You know what I'm talking about? It ain't easy. I'll tell you, it ain't easy. You know, even before I was born, my mother, Broadway Angie, you know, she had me booked in the pediatrics ward at the Palace Hospital. I was the only kid there who could cry on key. Okay. It ain't easy, you know what I'm saying? I was the only kid there who could do stand-up comedy lying down. You know, I didn't have doctor reports, I had reviews, you know? I'll tell you, it ain't easy, right? Anyhow, I'll tell you, they treated me great at the hospital, just great, like a family priest, Father Harold Square, you know? Yeah, he baptized me with Perrier water. I love the guy, I'll tell you. The delivery room that morning, I was born in the morning, you know, 8:30, 7:30 Central. Delivery, thank you, sir. The delivery room that morning, complete mayhem. Everybody was nervous. The doctors, the nurses, my agent, the ushers. Lady in a balcony fainted. You know what I'm talking about? It ain't easy, I'll tell you. The moment of my inception, when a doctor grabbed me by my tap shoes and slaps me, I thought it was applause. I took a bow. You know what I'm saying? My mother's really something. To this day, she refers to my birthday as opening night. You know what I'm talking about? I never get a birthday card. I get a telegram. I'll tell you. I couldn't get any sleep that night. The marquee over my crib kept blinking Broadway Bob, you know? It ain't easy, I'll tell you. The day I went home, talk about pandemonium. The day I went home, there I am in front of the hospital, right? I'm just about to get into the limo. You know what I'm talking about? My mother, Broadway Angie, she's got me in her arms, right? We're just about to get into this beautiful white limousine when all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this little girl comes running up and steals my sunglasses right off my face. I'll tell you, it ain't easy. Every time I tell that story, I get so excited, you know? Anyhow, I made it home. I had a normal home, normal house. Everything was pretty normal. Like, I did have this big lawn, and I would get show business newspapers, you know? Like Variety would land on the lawn, and my dog, Broadway Spot, you know? He'd run out there, get the paper, bring it in to me. He's a good dog, just a boy and his dog. You know what I'm saying? He'd follow me to school. I went to a normal school, Catholic school, you know, St. Groucho's. I had high marks at Groucho's. But why harp on it? Anyhow, what I like best about St. Groucho's is I used to make the other kids laugh by joking about our teacher, Sister Mary Barkface, you know? There's a heaven, this woman's the bouncer. This woman was mean. I'll tell you how mean she was, Porcupine Puss. She was so mean. She could bend steel in her bare hands, change the course of mighty rivers. She could eat a car. I'm talking mean as... She wore a Black & Decker habit. You know what I'm talking about? She wrote a note to my friend's father one time. He read it and got a nosebleed. You know what I'm saying? Well, it ain't easy. Wait a minute. When you got out of her class, you weren't promoted, you were paroled. You know what I'm saying? She used to practice the ancient art of bark fu. Now, that's where you just look at something, and like one time I saw her, she was just looking at this plant, right? And it died. And it was an artificial plant. I'm talking mean, this woman. Everybody was afraid of her. It ain't everybody was afraid of Barkface, especially my weird cousin, off-Broadway Bruce. I'm telling you, he's odd and even, you know what I'm saying? I'll tell you, well, everybody wasn't afraid. Like, Broadway Spot wasn't afraid of her. You know, one day, she yelled at me, you know, and Broadway Spot saw this, and he ran right up and made a Broadway caca right on a combat boot. Hey, boy, was she... Another touch. Thank you, ma'am. Glad you're here. Anyhow, Broadway heckler right there. Anyhow, one day, just because I make a joke about her tattoo, she keeps me after class, right? She calls him my father, Broadway Ed, you know? She says, are you aware of the fact your son comes to school and all day long he goes around telling jokes? My father says, you know, he sings and dances too. My father's something, I'll tell you. The epitome of class, my father. You know, sharp dresser, up to his tie wore a tie. You know what I'm talking? His clothes fit so good, if he got a tan, he went back in for a refitting. It ain't easy, you know what I'm talking about? What else happened? Look, you know, Father Harold Square was at the school. Father Harold Square was there. He used to make me laugh, Father Harold Square, because every time I tell him all my sins, he'd always turn and say the same thing. No kidding? That's what he used to say, you know what I'm saying? See, I find that joke very funny, but unfortunately, what can I say? Anyhow, what else happened? Looking back on St. Groucho's, you know, there's a couple of things I guess I shouldn't have done. Like, I guess tap shoes in church was a bit much, you know. As an altar boy, I guess I really shouldn't have insisted on top billing, but... to this day, I still think the choir should have been called Broadway Bob and his Bobettes. You know what I'm saying? It ain't easy, I'll tell you. I hate this part of the act because I gotta go now, but I've got to tell you one thing. I've gotta go. I gotta tell you, I just love doing this, and I thank you so much. This is a special night to me tonight. Broadway Angie and Broadway Ed send their regards, and you know I love you. Good night, God bless.